Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to my channel. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will allow you to know when I go live. And I would like to tell all of you in the descriptions, there is a PayPal to support my mission and me. And then there is an Amazon wish list where you can support our unhoused by getting products and having them sent. So wonderful, wonderful. I want to talk about the last few days. It's been really exciting. Hi, Megan. And yes, she does. I could not find for the life of me a good picture that, because they kind of do this thing where it's like a thumbnail. So I'll probably change the picture at some point, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great picture I took of Rowan today. And it came out as just her mouth. So whatevs, I will figure it out. So the last few days have been pretty exciting. On Wednesday, or no, Tuesday, sorry. Ooh. On Tuesday, we had the town hall, and we had a presenter as well from Strapped. He gave like a short presentation. And while we were there, of course, town hall is always amazing where we get to learn so much about different organizations and everything. And at the end of it, one of the groups there was called T2P2, and they give out period packs, which are really important. Okay. Menstruation supplies are huge out there, and it's a really big deal to be able to have these. And so we were shocked because there were supplies like over the table. They brought so many. And so I was given probably like 50 to 60 of these, and we're going to get these out on Saturday. And each pack comes with 10 tampons and 5 pads. So enough, hopefully, for a full cycle for a woman. And it just gives people dignity. It's such a big deal out there. Hygiene is huge. So big deal here. Hi, Free Spirit. Hi, Karen. Hi, Kate. No, it's totally okay. And then so on Thursday, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep because one thing about my sleeping medication, not only is it a mood stabilizer, but it also knocks me out because of my mental health. I needed a good amount of sleep. I'm one of those people that just does not function well on a lot of sleep. So I didn't sleep that night. So I was a little like spun out during the town hall. So I came home and I napped a while and get up the next day and I'm like, okay, gonna rock this. This is the presentation, made sure my camera was charged, make sure I have everything in the morning. So I'm getting ready in the morning, and first off my glasses break as I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, all right, that's a thing. We'll just deal with that. Next thing, I rip out my dress because apparently I'm a little heavier than I was before. So change clothes. Then I'm like, all right, I got this still. Oh, it's gonna be all right. Get out the door. Finally, got my camera, got my tripod, got a HDMI cord for the monitor, so his laptop could hook to the monitor. I'm like, yes, okay, this is rocking. Gonna do this. Make it to the donut shop to get donuts because that was one thing with my hosting. I wanted to provide donuts and coffee for everybody because it's just when you're sitting there for 2 hours training, it's nice just to have something to snack on. Roberto, I have my good days and my bad days. Thank you very much. So I get there, and first off, I didn't realize that the library doesn't open until 10 a.m. So I scheduled it from 10 to 12. So I had to spend like the first half hour. Luckily, everybody was so supportive and helped me get the room ready. And then we had to screw around the cords because apparently I brought the wrong HDMI cord. So we get going, and I'm like, all right, got the camera on the tripod. I turn it on and it says no camera, no card. Like, I forgot my card. Okay, awesome. Luckily, he had his nonprofit guy there who was recording, and we had a reporter there that was also recording, not video, but she was recording sound. It was really amazing. It was seeing the capabilities and what people can do as service providers is great. On an outreach level, it's good just to have it on your phone so that you can get people to where they need to be. It really is kind of a game changer because it takes away the need to call for 211, and you can have the information at your fingertips. The thing is, service providers just need to really access that. Yes, I have heard of the Samaritan app, and I don't support Samaritan. So, um, Strapped is the way to go, in my opinion. I was acquainted with the Samaritan app while I was homeless, and it was not beneficial for me or some of the people that I knew that were wearing the beacons. The whole tenet behind that whole thing is that it's not safe to give money to people. And so they will give, they have an account where people, and it's a great thing. I think that, people should be, however you want to give, great. But when you have a outreach that is literally saying, you know, because it came out and it wasn't the Samaritan app. It had another name, but pretty much the whole tenet behind it was don't give people cash and we'll give them this amount of money, but they can only spend it in designated places, which are our partners. And it no, absolutely not. I just and then there was a whole issue where um they had a feed and it was more like we were paraded around as tools, and then they had an auction where my photography services were it was I felt like it was such a big deal, and then all of a sudden it was a huge, it felt like me, like it was they scammed me, and I really didn't like that feeling when I was homeless. So I don't care for them myself. Not to say it's not a good organization, and I believe everyone should do critical thinking and definitely research organizations. Don't, just because one person had a bad experience doesn't mean everybody has a bad experience. And so I think that's really important to understand, is just because like I didn't have a great experience doesn't mean it's not a good thing. But in my opinion, Strapped is way better for what it is, and it's a game changer. So let's see. That's why I asked. It looks sketchy. Well, that I gave my, yeah. I don't want to get into, like personal stuff. I just particularly didn't like it. Do I have my Christmas tree up? I have my Sparkle holiday tree up, and bam, of course I do. And that came up right after Halloween because I absolutely love the lights and the glitter and the sparkles. And so, okay, so everything turned out well. We did the presentation, started getting the room cleaned up, and then nobody had donuts or bagels. Like I think two people did. So I had all of this stuff left over, and I'm like, I'm on the bus, guys. Like this is, I'd have to like make trips. So I was like, they're like, well, what are you gonna do with everything? I said, well, what I always do. I just took it outside. There was like a little set thing outside the library, set it all up. Just started asking people, hey, you hungry? You want some coffee? So by the time the guys came out from the bathroom, I'd already kind of taken everything outside and was chilling with a bunch of people and feeding them. And that was really great. I do enjoy just like being that person, just being comfortable with, leftover stuff, go sit outside and just, hey, you hungry? You all right? You want some coffee? Because I don't think that there's any offense in that. I don't think that, to me, it doesn't matter if I'm homeless or homed or whatever the situation is. Somebody asking if I'm hungry or thirsty, that's just kind. And so I kind of look at that like that myself, like who's going to be offended at that? However, I did have one guy come by and he's like, why? When I said, are you hungry? And I was like, because I have food and coffee if you want some. He's like, oh, well, that's very nice. I was like, thank you. Are you hungry? And he's like, no. I was like, okay. So then so I get on the bus. I'm done. I get on the bus, and I was on the rapid ride. And a lot of us just kind of we jumped the rapid ride, and fear enforcement was on there. Yay! And the guy looks at me. He's like, I was like, oh man, start getting my stuff together. He's like, no, we're not doing that. We're filling out a survey. I'm like, oh, cool. I will definitely fill out a survey for you. Tell you exactly what I think about how our public transportation system can be kind of a racket. And so I put down my thoughts and feelings, and as he's signing it or filling out his part. And I look at them and I said, "You guys deal with the unhoused community?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Do you ever try to get services for them?" "Yeah." I said, well, have I got the thing for you? And I have like, because there was only like 6 or 7 people that showed up. I've got like all of these like planning it shows that, it's to show everybody how to use the app and how to set it up for that. So I immediately pulled one out and was like, bam, here you go. Here is a new tool in outreach so you can get people to where they need to be and things that they need quickly. So they're looking through it and they're like, wow, this is awesome. Then a guy comes up from behind the bus because he heard me talking and wanted one too. And then I was like, he wanted one too. And I was like, here you go. And I handed him one, explained to him what it was, what I do, handed him a business card. And he was like, oh my gosh, so cool. And I was like, it's just funny to me sometimes how situations that sometimes can be construed as negative, or I could have been like, or whatever, and just being like, you know what, doesn't matter, you can be mad at me or whatever about the fair, but at least I'm giving you a resource, wherever I can be that person and be that somebody to say, here's resources, here's what you can use, here's what you can do, here's ways that you can help. And I can spread that throughout my community, not just in service providers, but spread it through the community through being a loudmouth about it. Like, that's how it works. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Lotus. I appreciate that. Trisha, thank you. Did I need fare for the bus? Okay. If I'm getting on a regular bus, then yes, of course I pay the fare. If it is a rapid ride, no, I really don't, because if I'm on the rapid ride, most times I am going several places and the fees are stupid. It is ridiculous. And no, I really do feel that in that scope, it unfairly targets people who are impoverished and unfairly targets people of color. And so I belong to the people that do protest, and I have no problem saying I am protesting this. And if they want me to take it to the city, I will absolutely do that. It's a small protest and some don't agree, but whatever. Um, let's see. Thank you. Always smile. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Justine. Will I do a class on strapped late in the afternoon or evening? No. I'm. It's really difficult. To do a class. I could make a vlog and kind of do it that way. The best way, honestly, it's really for strapped. You just download it. You download it. It doesn't have an E though. It's just strapped, and you download it, and it's location based. Wherever you are, it'll show services in your area, and they're broken down by several categories. If you need training, the training is more for like if you're a service provider. But I can do a class in how to use it as well, and I think that that's a good idea. I think I could do that. Yeah, I haven't seen you very often anymore. Always smile, Karen. You make people feel less embarrassed for their problems. I think they would accept help from you because you don't make them. I think that here's the thing, in my opinion, we raise our children to say, if you need help, ask for it. And somehow, as adults, we forget that. And we forget that people are vulnerable. It has really nothing to do with age. But as we age, we become ashamed of needing help. And I feel that when I just offer and say, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Whatever. I feel that that's taking the burden off of somebody for them to have to come and say, I'm hungry. Can you help me? If I'm just out there like, hey, you hungry? No, you hungry? No, you hungry? What I want to do in everything that I do is hopefully take some of that stigma and shame and judgment away from people who really deserve basic human rights. And it's not something that, they should have to fight for. And one thing that was said during the presentation is, the hierarchy of needs: food, water, and shelter. Those are the most basic, besides like socialization and everything else. Physically, a human being to to thrive, to survive needs food, water, and shelter. And shelter should be a private place that you go to put yourself together, a safe place. And if those are our basic needs, then we have a right to those. And so I feel that in everything I do, I want to promote that. And I want to take away, the uncomfortableness of people having to assert their themselves being a human being and try to tell people that, hey, I'm worth this. Of course you are. Of course you're worth food, water, and shelter. Of course you are. Of course you're worth a safe way of being. Of course you're worth being healthy. And for some reason in our country, I guess and the reason I say that is because I do not live in another country. In our country, there is some problems with this idea that you have to merit basic human rights. That if you don't work for another human being, that you don't deserve to live or have basic um, life sustaining supplies. And the problem with that whole narrative is that any supplies or anything that we do is garnered from this world, our earth. And in being that, we are beings upon this earth. Therefore, it's kind of all of ours. And we have enough to sustain our populations in a good manner, a good and healthy manner. But a lot of times we choose power or other things rather than the right thing. And the right thing is to care for one another and care for our environment and care for our world. And I don't think anything should come above that. Because I think once we all are at that point, things get better for all of us. It does nothing bad to have other people be taken care of. Seriously, it does nothing but improve our world. And so I'm really excited about what happened. Of course, I came home and I was supposed to have another thing with Ion later that night. And I canceled everything. I took my meds and I went right to bed. And I think I slept for probably 14 hours. But I was really excited at the way things are going and the absolute difference that can be made where you just don't think you're going to make a difference, such as fair enforcement on the bus. It's just funny how no matter where we are, what environment we're in, or anything, we can make this difference just by being that somebody that shows up, being that, showing up is powerful. I have to say, honestly, a lot of times, like if things are going so wrong like that, especially in a morning, it will stress me to the point of not even being able to leave my house. But that I knew I had to show up. Like that is important, especially for that. And I did, and it made this huge difference. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that because sometimes if I am, so that tired, sometimes like it's not okay. But I just I thought that that was an important message. And I wanted to, everyone to know that none of it is done by one person. There is not one single person out there that is saving the world. It is a bunch of people from all over the world who work together and collaborate and care and love. And that's how we make differences. And I think it's really beautiful. And I am very lucky to consistently run into amazing people who want to make amazing differences. And I think that's awesome. Um, how cold is it up there at 65? I think right now it is, let me check. Hold on. It is 39 with a feel of 37. So it's freaking freezing. Hey, hold up. in a few degrees. It will literally be freezing. Sheila, hi! I haven't talked to you in a while. Hi, my superhero friend Sheila. Save the world, of course. But it's with a big, huge group of people. I love you too. Yeah, it's really cold. And that's why, I'm on, and that's another thing too. If there, Facebook has these called buy nothing groups, and they're by neighborhood. And that's, put in your buy nothing group. Say, hey, I'm seeking, you got gently good used, clothing, blankets, whatever. I will take them and I will distribute them. And if you can't personally distribute them, like I can't right now, like I can't, like I have two huge boxes right here of feminine or menstruation products. So I can't take those out myself because I don't have a vehicle. But I can get them to outreaches and nonprofits that I know that will be out there. I know a nonprofit for almost every day of the week to get supplies out. So once you figure out what's out there, you can put calls out to your community, get those things, and still get things to where they need to be when it's cold. And there are many, many ways to go about making a difference. And I'm excited about all of them. Unless it's like the difference that mathematicians make. I'm excited about their differences, but I don't want their job. So does anybody have any questions or anything? Oh, thank you, Omega. Sheila, it is 28 here with a real feel of 18. Yuck. Yes. Ew. And you guys are going to be getting much, much colder too. Yeah, not cool. And that's another thing as well. I think that, and that's a huge thing, knowledge. Knowing your information can save lives. When you are in cold areas like Sheila, she's in an extremely cold area. Always smile. Also, very cold area. For those of you in very cold areas, know where your warming shelters are. They open, cities open warming shelters when it gets really, really cold out so people don't freeze to death. So just kind of keep on board as to when they're opening warming shelters, if they're opening warming shelters, and where those warming shelters are, because that in itself can be extremely helpful. Carry hot hands with you. You see somebody out there holding a sign, throw them a pack of hot hands, okay? It's freezing. That stuff, people literally lose limbs. So, Omega, I'm in Argentina, so right now it's pretty hot, right? Yeah, we're up near Canada. And for some reason, it's just cold. 33 in Maple Valley, everything is frozen where I am. Yeah, luckily, winter doesn't take long, and it's important. So we'll get through it, and it will be warm again, and I will be so thrilled. But there's always a plus. Like, I am very lucky. I have a fireplace, so I have some of those logs to stick in there, so I can do the whole warm and cozy fire thing with Ro, which is very, very nice. So yeah, it's crazy and it's beautiful and it's amazing, and I am so blessed to work in the sphere that I do. And so I just wanted to come on, share with you guys kind of what I've been doing, and where is she? Kate is Maple Valley. That's in Washington. So yeah, any questions, anything to say? I pretty much, if I talk anymore, I'm just going to be rambling because I really don't have much more to say. Fireplaces are so nice. I'm glad you have one. Yeah, me too. That was kind of like one of my sticking points with this place is I really wanted a fireplace. When I was unhoused, it was a big deal to have a fire at night and sit and take in the warmth and, talk to my fellow campmates and laugh and have that time where we just kind of decompressed. And so it's been a thing for me for relaxation for a long time, and it is a reminder of it's a reminder of the beauty that was in the bad. Because no matter where you are in any circumstance, there is something that you can grab onto. Sometimes it takes some searching, not gonna lie, sometimes it takes some real focus, but I've always been blessed to look around and be able to find something that'll touch my heart or I can grab onto and that will provide that bump of hope to keep me going, and that just understanding that no matter what, this world carries something beautiful always. So, any other questions? Any other comments? No? Okay. If not, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for sitting with me. I I think Kate had a great idea, and I think that later in the next couple of days, I will take you guys through just kind of how to use Strapped and what it's for. Omega, how did I transform my house into a home? With time. I got my main stuff, of course, you know, my Hanes. I had Hanes, the company, had contributed money towards my housing, or not housing, I'm sorry, home supplies, such as couch, bed, things like that. And so I got the basic stuff, but I'm kind of a stickler on letting things develop. And so I have things in my home that means something now. I like art. I like very, even though it does not look like it, I do like things very uncluttered. So um, I guess things hit me, and for one, I knew I needed a workspace. Having a whiteboard is very big to me because it helps me process like the complex, like some of the complexities of the things I work on. Um, the biggest part of making a house or apartment into a home is, for me, making it somewhere that when I enter the door, I feel safe, whether that be a feeling or a note telling me to just breathe, or making sure that when, I come in, everything is in its place and I feel good. And, you know, those things all matter. Being surrounded with things that spark memories and good memories, and memories of kindness and love, those things matter to me. I myself like a very cozy, fluffy space. It's kind of, if everything could be just soft, that would be great. But I'm glad you'll be moving in 2 months. I hope you enjoy your new place. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, is it weekend yet? No, it's only Thursday. So I'll tell you all to have a wonderful weekend tomorrow. Trish, I've been following you for a year now. I enjoy your positive energy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For those of you that want to continue to support me and my mission, again, there's a PayPal in the descriptions, and there is an Amazon wish list down below. And the Amazon wish list is for outreach. So, if you're feeling froggy, get on there, check out the warmy stuff. It's getting really cold. And literally, until we can get our politician, whoever, to just house people, we have to keep them warm so they don't die. So there's that. All right, guys, sending so much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.